See, and I worry about that because like, look how hardcore that's still freaking out.
Mine freaks out that hard.
Even when the room is silent.
Yeah.
That's really strange.
I've listened back on my streams before, and I had about that much freak out with just background sounds, but no, it sounded great.
Alright. I guess we'll ask Matt, who I assume is the one person watching right now. Let me know in chat. Spam your favorite emojicon. Or whatever. I don't even know if Matt's still there. I mean, I assume, like, I'm sure he's here. I don't know if he, oh, what is he saying? And, what?
Ask me what now?
Oh, yeah. See, he was probably up getting a can of fish or something.
Pomegranate.
Yeah, a pomegranate and a can of fish.
Lots of stuff.
What was I trying to... What was I asking him? Oh, yeah, can you hear me? I guess the answer is yes. Like, do I sound fine? I always have a dehumidifier going on in here because there's lots of books that I don't want ruined. So I'm willing to ruin my skin to get it. But yeah, let me know you think. Oh boy.
He says I like that that's still a weird thing with me. Weird ass snack.
Well, no, I'm glad it's still a weird thing because I was worried after that episode you had a few years ago that like it would just be, you know, nuts and seeds for the rest of your life.
Awesome, he says he can hear you just fine.
Oh, okay, good. Oh shit, this should be up now. Hang on, I gotta do the tweet and whatnot. Oh, Patreon's clock must be different than my system's clock.
I've had a post on Patreon go up 3 minutes after I scheduled it. Once.
That genuinely looks like what is going to happen here.
It's very annoying.
Alright, well, give me a minute. Oh, that's not the page I wanted. That's the... Wait, but why did I want that? Right, I wanted to see what the tree immediately next to. Okay. Ugh. I still have one tree to ink, but that's really boring, so I might just skip it. And when it comes time to... When I get back to fully coloring that page, I'll ink the last tree. Inking trees is just about the worst thing.
I like inking them, I don't like coloring.
Yeah. I mean, I guess I'll find out.
But they're also one of those things that are like horrible up until the last minute. Matt says right now it's primarily just avoiding weight, but since cutting it out, it's felt a lot better.
I can't remember if we've had this conversation before. Do you have celiac disease, or were you the Crohn's guy, or was it Lucas that had Crohn's? Everybody, all my friends are getting horrible dietary restrictions. Oh.
Also, Matt says 90% of his carb intake is rice. He's gonna live forever.
Oh yeah, no, you're turning Japanese. There's rice and fish and soy, and apparently you'll live past 100. What am I doing? I guess I should be getting this on the go. Where is the post? Where is the post? Because I need to take that link. There it is. Okay, give me a second. I need to put this in a tweet. And then I can get to doing some severely boring stuff. Copy. Paste.
Matt says the cat almost certain that he has some form of Crohn's.
I assume that last one is a spelling I think it's CROHN apostrophe S.
Oh, it's apostrophe S.
I think. I don't know. Tim Hortons doesn't even have an apostrophe. So
Does it?
you jam that up your mouth.
We should go there and correct them.
We should go there and look into this apostrophe business. Hang on, I need an emoticon. I love that OS. I was gonna call it OS X. Mac OS has the character map just like right there,
That's pretty cool.
so I can just insert symbols and glyphs and emojis wherever. What emoji do we want though? Oh, is there a sausage? Because I talk about getting the sausage made. Oh, there's a hot dog. That's good enough. Okay. The tweet is twat. Okay, tweet. Main post is up. It seems to be working. Everything seems to be working. We have a healthy, what appears on my screen as orange. Great. We should probably pay for better internet. Like, just get, like, the next one up. Okay, so, Orange Stream, you've got the chat. And for the first time in what seems like forever, we can stream. I'm really worried. My Mac Mini is hot as fuck right now, and I am terrified. Because it says on the website that a Mac Mini can do 2 4K displays. This is more for Matt than you. You and I have had this conversation. But I've only got 2 1080p displays hooked up, and it's really hot. And I'm worried about that. Hopefully the open window will be enough. Okay, let's do this shit.
That says, with macOS, you can hold down any character, like E, for example, it will bring up glyph palettes for it.
I know.
That's cool.
Yeah, no, you can Alt, just instead of having to do those ridiculous numpad codes, just pressing Alt or Option, and pretty much any, like Option U is an umlaut, Option E is an accent aigu, Option 8 is a bullet. You can make actual bullet point lists without having to use hyphens.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, it's pretty great. And then Shift Option hyphen is my beloved M dash. I use that a lot. But yeah, I'm sorry, you're gonna have to continue to read the chat. Done that? Doesn't look good. Yeah, there are still like some little things I want to do with the inks, but I don't care. Let's just start flattening this thing. Excuse me, what the hell is... Oh, I see. Yeah, there's a lot of organizing I still have to do, but that's even more boring than flats, so I'm not going to make anybody sit through that. Alright. I have since become a disciple of that thing that everybody loves, the paint bucket in CSP. Oh, yeah, right, gonna wait for it to save. The paint bucket is pretty great. I can't use it for all the flats. Like, I can use it for blocking in, like, characters and stuff and separating them. But I still have to use the actual, like, the damming approach I've been using with like, the pixel brush to actually separate the colors from each other, because the way my line art works for inks and stuff, like colors constantly get caught in these little tiny areas that aren't quite closed but are quite open.
I still have to do a fair amount of cleanup, like big chunks and flatten
I found out how to avoid a lot of the interior cleanup on flats, and I will show you how I've done that right the heck now. How do we want to do this? What?
Matt says that's how it's designed to vent heat, if he recalls correctly.
It's just supposed to get hot as fuck?
Like, the chassis itself is meant to get hot
Oh, so the body, the aluminum body, is a heatsink.
Oh damn.
If that's the case, that's the kind of ingenuity I expect from Apple, and that's cool.
Oh dang. I want to read about that.
Yeah, I want to read about that to make sure, but that is actually that inspires me with confidence. What am I doing? Flatting, right? Let's do that.
Do the ass here.
What?
Oh, just I like Zira's expressions. I like this page.
No, he great. Oh, and Matt, you were you once expressed you were bummed that Zir was not going to appear terribly much in the comic. And Zir is kind of like I don't know if you saw the tweet, but last night I was talking about how Lial is kind of the equivalent if we equate it to DS9, which I'm currently watching through again. If we equate it to DS9, Lial is kind of like Garrick or Nog, where like she's basically main cast, but officially not main cast, but like may as well be main cast because in most episodes. Zir is the same thing, where Zir is like you wouldn't see him on promotional material for the comic, but he's in it enough that he's basically a main character. He's just not quite a main character. Like there are episodes he won't be in.
Matt says he did see that.
Okay, so the way I do this is mostly for Jen, but perhaps everybody can learn something here. What I do is I start by having a completely flat, solid thing over the whole page. And I'm basically going to flat on this layer and then cut out what I need. If that makes any sense. Okay, and this will negate that whole getting holes in your flats entirely, which is great because that was my biggest problem with the paint bucket method. So what I do is, there's our lines. We'll worry about Doll's arm later.
I'm gonna do some magic hair.
I actually don't need to do that anymore, but for ones where it's going to be a little bit extreme, I still do. Okay, so first I make a layer. Just so I don't forget what it is, I'll just call it help. And help's purpose is to stop the paint bucket from going ape shit. It's just like extra outlines to help guide the flats.
Okay, this is pretty close to what I
Just stopping it from having too much of a party. Oh, I should probably turn that off. Oh wait, no, we need all of that. So this is like I'm probably gonna miss something here. Though it is really generous with like open things. Oh, I might. Do you think we should fix Hell's hand here?
I like her hand.
Yeah, but the thing is, with this right here, there should be like a line like right there.
I want to bother.
You just think it should be broken like that?
I think it's fine.
Well, that is anatomically broken. It's just, is it broken so much that you think it's a problem?
I don't think it's a problem.
All right.
We should let it go.
Okay, so there is help. So now we can take our paint bucket and be like, yes. And the only thing we have to worry about is making sure we get every shape around the periphery. You actually don't even need to go into the middle of the character. And then getting those weird diamond shapes doesn't matter. We can clean those up later. But yeah, if I'm being completely honest, the paint bucket is ultimately so much faster than damming. Even just, I only use it for like the very first stage of flats, which is like separating all the characters and shit, and like, yeah, it's better.
I have used it on every commission I've done for quite a while now, and it's so fast.
Well, yeah, and for commissions, I give even less of a fuck. Because commissions are kind of like the pieces I'm just trying shit out on. And if it doesn't quite work out, the client doesn't have to know that.
Yeah, you can tell it. I mean, there's quite a few options you can play with. Can Matt hear me?
I don't know. Matt, can you hear Jen?
Also, he says he's watching Velvet Buzzsaw, and that is good, and that's cool because I've never really checked it out.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind checking that out either.
Not really. Okay. I guess tell Matt that there's options and whatnot you can play with in CSP so that if you're reading different layers.
Jen tells me to tell you that the paint bucket has all sorts of options to help nail down exactly what you want for your flats. I haven't bothered yet because honestly, default is pretty damn good.
It's not bad, yeah.
When I have a minute where I'm not on the clock to get some comic pages done, I will probably play around with it more because it would be neat if I could do all my flats with this and have it learn exactly what's wrong with my inks so that it can better serve. Because you can see, like in places where there's gaps, it does this, where like it fills a little area just outside and before it stops itself. Which isn't the end of the world. It's a super quick process to clean up. The way I flat also, I ping pong a lot between Photoshop and CSP because I don't trust the selection, the magic wand in CSP as much as I do Photoshop. Because Photoshop I've already long figured out how to like select pixel perfect like alias selections, whereas in CSP I haven't quite figured that out yet. So I just don't bother. Let me probably do doll's face just in case. This is also the very first coloring tool I've used since Mario Paint, where sometimes when there's a big area to fill, it has to think for a second. Does anybody stream Mario Paint?
I don't know.
Because if I ever start streaming more publicly, that would be really fun. Mario Paint doesn't work very well with a tablet. Least of all a Cintiq. I have tried it. I think somebody, if I remember correctly, when I was trying to look, because the problem is Mario Paint. When you're running Mario Paint in an emulator, it has to do with the perceived resolution, because obviously the Super Nintendo has a resolution of like 200 something by 200 something. But your tablet is still reading 1080p, so the movements don't match up, and it makes it a nightmare. But I'm pretty sure somebody has like patched the ROM or something. I think there's a patch or something that you can use Mario Paint on, I guess we'll call a Cintiq modern hardware. This is my favorite hell so far.
Yeah, it's a good one.
I couldn't decide whether I wanted to move Rose's arm down ever so slightly so it's not like right on her chin like that. Because personally I find that a little bit weird.
I would agree with you if I didn't think it sold the gesture a little bit better.
You have weird reasons for things, though. Also, you're a woman. Why should I trust you? Oh, okay. You know what? No, we'll use Zir's eye as the perfect example of why this is This is a good method, what I have did. Just real quick, while we're here, we'll do... Oh, shit. No, fuck you. We'll do, Doll's arm and shit. We won't get rid of the health layer yet, because it's going to continue to help. Oh, wait, no. Incorrect. Chose this moment to play in the spot that gives me a giant glare spot on my monitor. Okay, so we got those. That's good enough for now. But yeah, mostly for Matt's benefit. This is why I didn't like the paint bucket, because it does that. Because when it detects a line, it's like, well, you don't need fill underneath the lines. So it creates all these tiny little, like, micro holes. But we can fix that. Once it saves. Has nobody else showed up yet?
Also, yeah, Matt's asking what the separation is for.
Yeah, it's for my depth of field stuff. Mostly. I have since figured out a way to do like 90% of it without having to do this. Without having to make it completely different layers. I still end up making it different layers, but I found a way to separate elements from a single layer. So, because it's a big pain in the ass having to match the coloring and lighting and everything of two completely separate layers. But if I color a character all on one layer and then separate the elements, it's obviously a lot easier. It's not as easy to separate them, but I have figured out a way that mitigates most of that. It's 86. Oh, there's 85, by the way, with its flats kind of done. With trees and shit. Yeah, this is gonna be good. This is gonna be real good. Just need a Photoshop. Excuse me. I also found out through the magic of Mac OS, I always had a problem with, and I believe I spoke to you, Matt, about this before, how it was a pain in the ass to like play, say, Monster Hunter on the TV in the living room because the sound was still coming out of my computer speakers. I forgot on Mac OS, you can literally just pull down your volume tab and just it'll show you a list of audio outputs, and you can just be like TV, and it just then it just plays it through the TV speakers. That is hugely helpful. Okay, layer 1, let's just turn that a different color so we can see what's happening here. Okay, so now that we have the flats all on this one layer, we just take the magic wand and we're like, oh no, we get the right layer first. And then we're like, bet. We do all that. And then we do a pixel lock, and then we go like that. Oh wait, hang on. No, we don't. Then we go like that. There, no more holes. All of the holes are gone. Except for the ones at like the very edge. Like you still have to now like go back in, like figure by figure, and be like, I don't want that. And I don't want that. So like nothing's perfect. But this is still pretty fast. Oh, I think that's it for hell. Cool. Row. Oh. Being left-handed is a super boon for this stage, like having to do stuff like this, because I can zoom in and out with one hand well, like I can basically double fist a stylus and a mouse. Oh, I missed a spot. I missed a couple spots. Whatever. You're such a John Arbuckle, it's great. Like, I don't think I was consciously thinking of that particular comparison, but like, God, maybe I was. That is also a good way of doing it. Oh, Jesus Christ. I missed this giant spot in here. Or I guess I didn't miss it, and that's the problem. Looks like that's it. Oh, yeah, you're right. And I guess I'd get right there too. I also saw another one. There's hand. Yeah, that's probably good. Now we gotta go back in and fill the parts that we missed. This is enough flat. Just back there now. Enable the mask. Delicious. What? Oh yeah, I go back in after I delete stuff and add stuff. So yeah, the fingernail I knew about. This I did miss though. Good catch. Yeah. I guess we may as well just start here. But yeah, after removing bits, I go back in and like add the bits that we're missing. And this is just a microcosm of what I would have been doing for the entirety of the block again. And what I still do when I'm actually separating it into actual flats. Because honestly, the paint bucket, because of the adjustments you have to make, is not that much faster, and I just feel like I have more control doing it by hand. Also, because I've been doing this for so long, I'm also just particularly fast at it. There. It's pretty much anywhere where something gets like pinched to a point, there's like a little tiny sliver missing. Most of the interior ones were dealt with when we separated it from the, like that's why we started with just one piece. I never know what to do with like areas like this. Like, should I do that, or should I actually bring it in and just leave the line art? I can never decide what my policy is for that. Also, I'll be going over a lot of this with just like a cleanup layer when it, like after it's all colored, so like little bits on the edges aren't really the end of the world. See, like that's one I feel should like actually go in. Whereas this one, not so much. Oh. Cool. I apologize if my backspace is loud. My keyboard's right next to the microphone. Oh, I don't know if I complain about it on Twitter or even privately in like Discord or whatever. I've gotten used to the insane zoom speed on macOS in Photoshop. It's bananas. It's so fast. And I'm also proud of myself for getting used to it because since I ping pong back and forth all day between Photoshop and CSP has a reasonable scroll speed. That's weird that this one spot didn't get filled in at all. That seems to be it. Cool. Oh, yeah, right, Bell's arm. Let's do it again. Another thing I'm really enjoying about being back on a Mac is that it seems I can stream Photoshop, whereas on Windows, the Photoshop's renderer doesn't like to play nice with OBS. Well, not only that, it's not running at like, 10 FPS. Honestly, I think that's it. Oop. Oop. There we go. Delightful. No, wait, this isn't even white, is it? No, it is. Okay. I have, oh, whatever Mac OS's built-in flux is called. Night Shift. Which is a really clever name for such a function. Okay. So that's that. So we are back to CSP. Oh, shit. I didn't even notice. Hang on. Their bodies are leaking into the other panel. I will say the frame rate is still reduced while streaming. Oh, yeah. I was gonna say, what is that? But that's from there. There we go. Oh, and we didn't even finish the wall. Okay. So this is actually just one big happy what have you. Yeah, okay. Everything is lovely. Yeah. Okay, now we are back to CSP. Honestly, just to save RAM, I should probably close that page. Oh, shit. 86. I gotta clean up my desktop. I swore when I got a new computer I wouldn't let it happen again. It absolutely happened again. Hang on. No, it's just nothing here but us, Matt. Nobody here but us, Matt. Okay, so turn off panels. Turn on the back panels. Turn off the borders. And let's do this shit. This one was done in pieces, unfortunately. Foreground lines, we gotta get them. Don't worry about it. Okay, that's most of it. Lines copy. There's okay, so that's MG lines. And that's the tree lines. Okay, yeah. First things first. Where is help? Actually, probably actually, where are the borders? Oh, hang on. Oh, right. Zir isn't drawn past the safe area because this was the point where you still weren't drawing past the safe area. So Zir is just a floating torso in the back. That's probably not a problem because I'll probably have it like kind of like fade out to. Worst case scenario, I will draw him some legs at a later time. Like, well, there. Good enough. And if I want to go back in there with, like, lines, I will. Actually, I could probably make that sexier contrapposto. Yeah, oh god, yeah, that is how he's standing, isn't it? Oh shit. Okay, I'll try that. If he's like that... Actually, contrapposto would be if he was like that and his hips were like that, which means this leg would be out and this one would be like that. So technically that's not the term I want. But he is leaning kind of like that. Good enough. John Arbuckle is a sassy bitch.
I'm really happy with that panel.
Yeah, no, it's wonderful. Zeus fish lips as he pretends to be impressed. Real quick. It'll be like. I mean, it's just whatever. And this should be easy as pie. I've never sought to confirm it, but did you know that to say that something is oh shit, to say that something is easy as pie has nothing to do with pie? And that pie is in fact the Maori word for good. And the original phrase was apparently like to be pie at something.
I love it. That's
And
cool.
pie literally just means good. And it's P-A-I. That may be false, but I seem to recall at the time the source that I got it from was like one where I probably wasn't willing to be like, oh, they're just bullshitting. Though before you go spreading that, we should probably find out if that is 100% true. Oh yeah, right. We need... This second surprise zero, I will definitely pull onto its own layer.
Really like that hand.
It's a good hand.
Good job, me.
Good hand, Brent. Ugh, my hair's gonna need some help. Whatever. There, good enough. Good enough, you're colored. Finish not perfect, am I right? Just post it. Just post it, let them figure it out. What am I doing? Right. Right, that is... That's for that. Then we need... That's just them, isn't it? Yeah. They probably don't need to be on their own layer. I think the only reason they were on their own layer was because I needed to change their size. What? What? Oh, wrong color. The problem is you can't make it overlap the actual space you need to color too much. For some reason, it doesn't seem like... Why? Why? Is there something in the foreground that's... Oh, a page. Okay. Even still, it seems I forgot a line right there. They're far enough in the background, and on this panel in particular, they will probably be slightly depth of fielded out. Like, just a little bit. Her books? What else could it have been? Why did I even ask? Don't worry about it. I was gonna say we have to resist the temptation to give a character stretched years, and then I remembered Keb exists, like the other main character. Oh yeah, right. I already played that card, but because I played that card and because I played it so extreme, like we can basically never do that again. It doesn't, because of the context that I've set up for what that means, like specifically for Keb and people like him. I don't really want to use it that much though. Outside of that context, and then tattoos. I wanna hold off on tattoos. If we can think of literally anything else for a character to make them interesting design wise, I want to spring for that rather than tattoos. I'm perfectly fine with drawing tattoos. I just no, we're not. I mean, I think like. What, are you specifically thinking of, like, Yakuza tattoos? Because, I mean, just, like, you know, you get a character of color, and then you give them, like, white slashy lines to make them look, you know, more exotic and shit. Like, I don't want to resort to that. I mean, like, I don't doubt we will at some point, but I want us to consider other ways of making characters look unique first, because it's such a fucking cop-out to use tattoos. Oh my god, where is? There it is. Oh, that's it for them. Now tree! Prove it. Oh. And again, the vines will be there. You also drew the vines differently on this page than the previous page. And I had actually already inked this tree with the way the vines were drawn on this page. But that would now not be compatible with the previous page. The vines look more like little waterfalls on this one. They're like kind of in clusters. Whereas on the previous page, the zoom out shot, you drew them more as like single vines, like kind of like jungle style. Yeah? Oh yeah. Like they're kind of in clusters in this one, like more like a weeping willow. Whereas on the previous page, they're drawn more like singular like jungle style vines. Oh, god damn it. Yeah, that's true. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to like blame it on you or anything. I think ultimately I just don't know what I wanted from like a. What would a tree look like in a different place? Also, lore thing that I didn't consider until now, and it can still work because we haven't seen anything to the contrary yet in the comic. Sylph avoid using wood for construction because they have more access to metal and plastic. Moonstone is plastic, by the way. Just a little spoiler for you. Or like plastic, like maybe plastic, ceramic. It's like a man-made material that they find specifically in like excavations. Which is also why it's very valuable to them, and also why it's, I guess, very valuable to everybody, because people are like, how the fuck is that made? And as far as they know, it's just a naturally occurring thing that only the Sylph have figured out a source of. But yeah, no, I figure because they're so focused on, like, keeping their own home soil breathable, obviously that's what they use trees for.
Yeah.
And so it barely occurs to them to make anything out of wood, because they need the trees alive. Not that wood things won't exist. Like, I'm sure there will still be, like, sylph stuff made out of wood. But, in general, we should probably focus on designing their stuff like the suits are designed. And then, like, stone and shit. It's a tree. Alright. Is that it for this page? There's that tree, but again, I'll just fucking draw that later. It's another tree. Who cares?
Oh, you haven't used it yet?
No. No, I just wanted to move on to flats for this stream. Yeah, I guess we're good. I guess we're moving like full-time Photoshop here. Just waiting to save again. Is today like a day for something or other? Well, because I think there's no Carson or Omar or anybody. We very rarely have nobody show up. Jesus Christ. Our programs always be stealing focus. Nope, that's not what I wanted. Oh, for fuck's sakes. There we go. Oh, my help lines. I think that's it. Nope. Seriously? Oh, right, his hair is a nightmare. I will deal with that later. What the hell is happening with Doll's foot? Did I just forget to draw the back of it? Oh, I forgot to draw her ink. Oh, Jesus Christ. I guess we can put that back in shortly. Her foot looks like hell. I will remember. The place, not the person. Not the Diablo 2 room. Man, fingernails really get the short end of the stick. In this. Like when there's a hand near the edge of the flat area. She also had another page right here. And I will super not forget. Jesus Christ. Oh shit! Oh, whatever. Show up when you can. Jen's here, but she's much farther away from the mic. But she is closer to the chat. Now that I'm out here, and until I can figure out my second monitor fiasco, i.e. buy one, I'm using the TV across the room, so Jen is kind of over there just reading the chat. Because I have the eyes of a 90-year-old man. And I can't wear glasses while I'm working. I mean, I could, but... And I did, honestly, for years. And then I started working... I took my glasses off one day, like after I got a Cintiq. I took my glasses off of work and I was like, oh my god, I've been killing myself. It's so much better. I think we're good. Yeah, don't worry about it. I still gotta do the thing, remember? Boop. Now, all gaps should be filled. Everything should be fine. This was... Yeah, perfect. Perfect. So none of that. We do want that. Yeah, this will have to do for now.
Also, these silhouettes are super fun.
Oh, I assume you mean the actual, like, flat areas? Oh, also real quick, I did get your message. It does sound like a good idea. And I will talk to you about that later. It's also so weird. It's so weird to come back to this page after like literally like a month and a half of not working on it, and like I don't even ink like this anymore. I mean, I kind of do, but like there's some ways where I've kind of like tightened up some stuff. But whatever. I don't think it's a big enough change that anybody will give a shit. Christ, I think that's it. Oh wait, no, there's hair. There's a bip. It kind of looks like when I'm doing that part of the cleanup, it kind of looks like they were at a wedding or something, and people just have confetti stuck to them, like all these little diamonds that are all over the edges of their hair and stuff. And one last one, the tree. Oh, there is one thing I forgot. There was an open spot here. I love trees in real life, but I sure don't like them in my work. Not alive, anyways. I was saying to Lucas a couple days ago, like, dead trees are easy because you're basically just drawing entrails and then just coloring it like a tree when you're done. But living trees are a fucking nightmare. Oh, that was a sloppy. There we go. Good enough. Oh. This is going to be far enough in the background that it's basically just going to be... It's not going to be depth of fielded out so much where... Like, I still need to keep it reasonably clean. But, like I can't really cut too many corners with it. But it is going to be enough that having slightly rough edges isn't going to matter. Yeah, cool. Okay, so putting that all back together. Help we don't need anymore. Oh, fuck, we forgot them. That's fine. We can just do that by hand. Nope, shit. I was looking at these foreground figures, Charlie before streaming, and like, I have that much space to fade from whatever the background is here to hell in the extreme foreground. So I gotta make sure I do that right so it doesn't break that illusion we kind of have where panels just kind of secretly fade into one another in the background. That's actually going to be a bit of a challenge, but it'll be fine. I'll figure it out. Because she's going to be pretty dark, I assume. Yeah, I would imagine the foliage will probably be kind of a godsend there. Because, especially for this panel, it's going to be depth of fielded the fuck out. I can probably just, like, copy-paste a tree from another panel and just work from that. Wicked! Oh, this area turned out such that it kind of looks like Rose just wearing, like, a big cloak or a toga or something. No, I mean, like, how the wall from the panel behind, like, lines up with her perfectly.
I know.
Oh, then I guess I don't understand your joke.
It's an oversized zero shirt.
I mean, he's really not that much bigger. I would imagine they're probably the same size, honestly.
It looks like the cloak she's wearing, because of the cutout, has zero in it.
Oh, you mean it's literally a shirt
It's a zero
featuring a zero print? Oh, okay, got it.
shirt. Ready for Walmart.
Sorry, I thought that, yeah, she found it in some beer. T-shirt so big, it must have come from beer. Shit, what am I doing? I guess we're actually just flatting now, Jesus. So I'm going to turn off... Oh, no. I'm going to turn off night shift. Oh, God, I'm not used to it being this bright. I imagine on the stream, nothing changed.
Nothing changed there.
I do pretty much everything in like, with the orange filter turned up to max.
Rage says, zero print shirt, robe, created just to troll zero.
Yeah, that, like, trying to put a beat on, like, what technology the various cultures do and do not have. Like, the technology, like the ash filters and anything that's powered that the Sylph has, which is not much more than the filters. And that's the suit filters. For, like, the city scale, they just have, like, windmills and dams and shit to help with, like, ventilation. But, like, do they have a printing press? Like, do they have print? In my head, no. In my head, like...
No, they just have specialized artisans to paint on shirts.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So it's actually super expensive to have... Oh, that's actually kind of cool. Where, like printed stuff, actual, like the guy who airbrushes t-shirts in the mall.
Yeah.
Would be like a superstar because he would only be like doing shit for the king.
Yeah.
Because only somebody like that could afford it. You don't see that very much anymore. Those like airbrush guys. Since I still don't have flat reference for this act, because I have tweaked the flats of various characters, I am actually going to have to pull from the previous page. Which looks like so. Matt saw it, but Rage has not seen it yet. These are not finished flats, but like they're good enough that it's going to be a time saver when I go back to color this. Actually, fun fact, when I am done flatting this page we are currently on, I will be going back and doing 84, 85, and 86 at the same time, and we will have our first finished fucking pages of Act 2.
I finished 92 stencils.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, they're done.
Wait, which one?
92.
Oh, okay. Because I was going to say, I almost have to stop and make you thumbnails again.
No, I still got 93, 94.
Right. Wait, I thought I was working on 94.
No, I have 94.
Right. Right, 95 is... Right. Alright. Yeah. Okay, panels. Oh, I'm on the wrong... ding dong. Okay, just so we can see what we are doing. What are you? Oh, okay, yeah, that's... So we go VIP, but we also go VIP. And then we will figure it out from there.
Matt says they exist in poor malls still. I'm pretty sure the... Oh, I don't have my glasses on.
I feel like he's gonna say Cataraqui Town Center.
Frontenac?
Frontenac.
Frontenac Mall still has an airbrush shirt store.
Nice. Yeah, they were always like, it was always like the store next to the It store, which Americans would know as Spencer's. Oh shit! This particular shirt has not been updated to be the over-the-shoulder design, so I gotta hack some line art in here, which should be brown anyways. Yeah, fun fact: all the line art, all the black line art in Rising Sun is brown.
Yeah, I rarely ink in black.
It just kind of reads. I always ink in black because it's easier to see when you're actually doing the inking, but it never stays black. It just reads as black. Like in the context of like once you're seeing the full comic page, it just looks like black. God, even that doesn't really read properly. Ah, whatever. It's good enough. It's good enough. I'm gonna give myself some more room here. Yeah. Cool. But yeah, once I'm doing the actual flats, I much prefer to just dam everything off by hand.
That dragon I did recently, the full body one.
Mm-hmm. What?
What are they called? Did you do the dragon people?
Oh, I have no idea. Dragonkin? Or, oh, excuse me. No, I thought it was dragon. It's dragon something. Dragon folk.
Doesn't matter. That dragon folk I did. All of that was flatted in CSV. Like even breakdown.
Well, you're better than me then. Oh, you can see I missed the edges of your bits there. The what? Yeah, this shouldn't be there. I ended up not using that.
Oh.
So I don't know what I'm going to do with that just yet. That is the only panel where that bip appears. Oh shit, no, that's her shoulder. Oh, fuck. I do that a lot. I forget about their ears when I'm plotting. I am almost positive there is at least one page of Rising Sand where there is a sylph ear that is like hair color.
I mean, good thing it's so light that you wouldn't really notice.
Well, you do notice once I start adding all the like subsurface lighting and stuff that for some reason I wasn't putting on hair in Act 1. So hair always ended up like when it was like dark, hair always ended up quite a bit darker than skin, which would still be kind of illuminated due to subsurface. However, the panel I'm thinking of, it's Ro, and she's in the background, and she's slightly depth of fielded out, but she does have a yellow ear. I think I fixed it for the book. Can't remember. I may have fixed it for the book. It's the "Don't Shoot My Sister" page. Like that very first panel where like
I never would have noticed.
yeah, it's like the smallest thing. I keep spitting on my Cintiq. Oh, right here. Oh shit. We wanted the other thing. There we go. Yeah, I think tonight I'll start actually making like a reference file I can keep open. So I don't need the RAM to hold two working files open at the same time.
People like those two do little flat river.
Oh, I was going to do a real one that is just squares. Because it was often difficult for me to even go in and get the flats because I had them so poorly drawn. I'd have to like zoom way in to like get a pixel of the color I needed. This time I'm just going to have like clearly marked. Because there were times where I even forgot what certain blobs were for. So this time I'm going to make one that's like proper. As fun as it is to see like horrible homunculi of their characters. Jen's my interpreter, so if anybody's talking in the chat, I have no idea what's being said. So get your cutting remarks in now. Oh shit, hell's the wrong color. I forgot about that. Fun RS technical fact. The default tooth color for, I'm pretty sure, except for Sorrel, for characters in Rising Sand, is the same color as Dahlia Rowe's hair. Because teeth on average are kind of yellow. What the fuck was I doing? Oh yeah, right, her skin color. I forgot for a moment hell is a different color than the others. Slightly more Vulcan-y. Jen is back. She's just being quiet.
Her flats on the other page are crazy.
Oh yeah, they're horrifying. Flats are horrifying. Like look at Rose. That looks terrible. God, I'm gonna have to open up like an older file and find Doll's that teal color for her dress / belt. Give me 1 second. I forget why I needed to get up. I just needed to probably to pee. Let's go do that.
How's everyone doing today? Thinking next week if Ty doesn't stream again, you guys can watch me clean up and ink one of the patron wallpapers I was working on.
To what? Yeah, but I didn't hear you.
Next week, if you don't stream, I was talking about what I might work on.
Oh no, I don't even like streaming. We can switch off back and forth again. But I'm glad that I can do it again, because it's nice to catch up with our boys. Oh, speaking of which, we should call Chris when we're done here. See what he's been doing.
It's Sunday, so we might not be able to get hold of him.
Oh yeah, doesn't he like church all day?
There's service in the morning, and there's usually one at evening on Sundays. He might also be working.
True that. Where does he work again? I keep
I
forgetting.
think it's Subway. I might be wrong. But I thought it was Subway.
Sorry, we have styles? Or do you mean that Jen more recently just does requests and I do more of like comic work?
We also shoot the shit a little more on my streams.
Well, I mean that's true because in my case both of us can read the chat. We can be more participatory. Whereas with this current setup, I can either work or chat. They are completely separate. Good. Yeah, we can fix this. We can get rid of this. Jen left again, so it's gonna take a minute before I know what happened in the chat. Yeah, like if we just kind of do that, nobody's gonna know. Oh shit, that's on the flat layer. Fucking hell. Give me those lines. Yeah. So we'll just thicken that. The perspective will be off a bit, but nobody's gonna get in my face for that. Get rid of it. No. Oh, fuck off. I guess that means my playlist is done. Hang on, I want to throw more music. I don't know, fur? Maybe fur. Oh shit.
Leah's doing that thing where she sleeps with her eyes open.
It's creepy. Leah sleeps with her eyes open.
She's a wizard. Oh, Rach says we each discuss different parts of our art processes. He's asking that piece that's being erased is part of the original design for the blades.
Depends on what your definition of original is. I did slightly redesign them for this act. This is more accurate. I don't know why this one does not reflect that. They're more like that, where there isn't an extra bip right there. There's another page where you can see it even better. I mean, I guess the first page of the act where it's like close up.
Oh yeah, that one. Matt's responding, that's super weird. What is he talking about?
I have no idea. What is super weird?
Oh, Leah's sleeping with her
Oh, Doi, right, yeah.
Yeah, she...
And the thing that makes it even, not even creepier, like it genuinely makes me concerned, is that one of her favorite sleeping poses just looks like a discarded ragdoll physics body.
That's what she's doing right now.
And so here's a cat that looks like it's been thrown onto the bed with its eyes open, and it doesn't appear to be moving or, God, even breathing because she's asleep. And that's just how she likes to sleep. And I hate it.
Tomorrow's supposed to be sunny out there.
Well, then we're going on a goddamn coffee quest.
Copy quest!
I didn't want the phrase Coffee Quest to replace Coffee Walk, but it's cooler. So it might. Oh. Idiots who render tear ducts even at, like, when the characters are zoomed out. Gotta make sure they have tear ducts. You never know when somebody's gonna cry. Jesus Christ, great! Now let's do it again. Oh wait, we forgot Hell's Ding Dong is not necessarily going to be yellow. I just haven't completely decided yet. The idea was to try to get everybody on like the cool end of the spectrum. But it's very difficult since Ro has that purple and Zero has that almost the same teal as Doll's belt. It's difficult to give Hell a distinct one that doesn't clash too badly with her hair. It's nice too because it I think it also helps sell that like she likes cutesy girly shit but is otherwise a complete butch. I think that's good. When I say girly, I really mean traditionally feminine. I shouldn't be using girly as a derogative term. All the same, in case people are watching this in the future, don't headache. Oh hey, I missed one. One of the little diamond shapes. Shit happens. I've never had that happen, but yeah, I'm sure the AI makes mistakes. I'm sure that AI makes mistakes. I don't know what else the algorithm. Actually, now that we have everybody, I probably don't need this anymore. I missed another one right there. Get out of here. Hardy confetti. Oh, Jesus Christ. This is a mess. Jesus Christ. I don't know how well you guys can hear the chaos outside our apartment. Our hallway is extremely echoey. And the door that's down the hall sounds exactly like that swinging door sound that's in everything. You may know it as like cell doors and shit from various TV shows. It makes almost that precise sound. It's amazing. Oh boy, where'd that pink? Yeah, that pink. Nope. Oh, for Christ's sakes. I think I've looked for one before, but I should probably look again. I would really like a nice swatch manager.
Yeah.
If I could just have a giant grid. I just realized. Oh, Jesus Christ, her other arm. Is that not in the I guess it's not. Shit. I'll deal with that later.
That's kind of awkward, and it'd be behind row, but kind of peeking.
Like, it would be we could figure this out. It'd be kinda like that. And then kinda like that.
Yeah.
It looks like you didn't. Just from what I can see. Nope. Doesn't look like you did.
No.
It's fine. It's not a big deal.
That's asking if we have a plan for how we're gonna set up a TCAF.
We're gonna get a table. We're gonna have a book. We can put the table on under the book, so that supports it. So it's at like eye level, so people can see it. And it might have a little sign with like a dollar amount on it, which implies to the viewer that this could be yours for this stated price.
So no, we don't have an actual plan yet.
No, we're gonna have a book. We're gonna have pins. We can put them on the table. TCAF is not one of those cons. Thank fucking Christ, where you construct that ridiculous cage of prints. Because I hate those.
The only height like I've seen beyond like a banner is usually when people are up against the wall and they're able to tack shit to the wall. But,
Like-
that's as far as it goes.
Yeah. So yeah, strictly speaking, no, we don't have a plan, but you're not really allowed to do anything elaborate at TCAF. Not that I would do anything elaborate. Buy my book or don't. God, as long as the print turned out okay, it's gonna be a hell of a sexy ass book. I went over to the comic shelf to like find the cover thing again. Now the one thing about Rising Sand, wash your hands before reading it, because the cover is going to be extremely susceptible to fingerprints, because it is crazy matte, in that like sexy high quality book way. But yeah, you're gonna wanna not have Dorito hands when you handle that book.
Yeah,
There are two kinds of comic convention. There is the giant corporate kind, which is actually a secret commercial for the superhero movies. And everybody dresses as a fucking cardboard robot. And then there's good cons, like TCAF, which are actually about comics. And there's buy-in for people who are interested in the medium. And it's everybody is dressed in flannel and glasses. And that's what TCAF is. And TCAF is arguably the biggest one of those, where it's actually about comics and the reading and making of comics. And it's the only show I care to go to in Toronto anymore, because fuck Fan Expo is the Canadian equivalent of San Diego. And it is a fucking 4-day nightmare that costs like $800 a table.
It's so expensive.
And nobody cares about what you're making if it's not fan art. So fuck it.
And yeah, Maxim is about original content, not fan art.
Yeah, that's the thing about these actual comic. Like, people are specifically there for the original shit. Like, nobody gives a fuck about, like, nobody. People do sell fan art at TCAF. It's not, but like, they literally won't let you in if you don't have original work in book form to sell. So it's far more curated. Cosplay is actively discouraged. I don't think you're allowed, like, at all. Are you?
It just can't be intrusive. Like, I've seen one cosplayer, but like it was like maybe he missed it.
Yeah, the general vibe is like, if you cosplay at this con, you're an asshole. Because it's way too tight to be fucking trying to get angel wings through that shit.
Alright, what'd you get the video?
It is likely we will, but it's us, so we'll probably be on the fucking balcony. Really? Who the hell requests the balcony? Oh, good point. Yeah. Wait. Why is that a good point? Because of the proximity to the elevator, I guess? Not once people are there.
No, but to set up and get snapped.
That's true. That's true, yeah.
Like, Vanessa, who is in a wheelchair for the most part, would have a hard time getting around.
I didn't know that. I also didn't see a wheelchair when she was there. I mean, I don't doubt it's true. It's just, I had no idea of her. Like, that, it explains a lot after having met her. Because she was all over the place when we met her. Did she get into TCAF? How the hell did she get into TCAF and Mary did not? Not that one of them deserves it more than the other. Like, they both work very hard. No, this is about the regular size. No, see, everybody, literally everybody who isn't me and Jen is like, oh, their ears are pointy. They must just be elf ears. And so the way they remember the ears is just as regular elf ears, but sylph ears are not the same as elf ears. And I've actually been meaning to, like, put a how to draw tutorial up for sylph ears. But no, sylph ears are basically just like if you took regular human ears and went into, like, create a sim and just, like, stretched them a little, but, like, the mass of them doesn't change. So their ears are basically just extended human ears, but it's the same amount of ear stretched over. So like their ears are like translucent and thin. Like Sylph don't have like gigantic triangle Warcraft elf ears, which is how basically everybody who has ever drawn a Rising Sand character has drawn them. Like I don't mind when people do that, but if you're going for accuracy, that is not what their ears look like. Hey, remember the Warcraft movie? I kind of want to see it again because it was so shockingly shit. Like, it's a Blizzard property, and yet the movie was still just as bad as any Uwe Boll piece of garbage. Like, it barely ascended past, like the Resident Evil movies. It was so bad. No, it's not. No, it's not. Everything looks green screened as shit. It all has that plasticky Marvel Cinematic Universe kind of look. Well, a lot of thought goes into a lot of the shit that are in these terrible movies. Like, a lot of thought went into the object designs in Beauty and the Beast. They look like shit in the movie. Or perfect example, the new Ninja Turtles. In isolation as character designs, they're really, really cool. And there's a lot of, like, narrative and story in those character designs, but, like, they look like shit. They look like shit in a movie. No. Yeah, if the movie had just been CG orcs hanging out, then it's indistinguishable from an actual Blizzard cinema scene, and it looks great. As soon as you add, God, who played Medivh? The wizard who like turns bad at the end.
Oh, that was
yeah, like, God, it like as soon as like he's on screen, it's like, is this a fucking college film?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I should have been more specific in what I was saying was gorgeous. I meant literally the character designs and modeling. I thought the assets were really nice. But yeah, Matt made another point that I was going to say. Nothing has weight. Everything felt very light.
And the incredible the female orc who kept changing size
Yeah.
depending on the scene.
Foster.
Ben Foster, that's it. He was like, let's get a man who's like 40 years too old to be this character. Or too young, excuse me.
That's too bad too, because I like him a lot. Like everything he's done.
Yeah,
he's fun.
He's fine. China fucking loved Warcraft, though. I don't know if that means we'll get a sequel to it, because like it is objectively a bad movie, and the general public seems to know that. And there's no way they would make one just for China. Even though most movies are kind of just made for China now. Or that's unfair to say. Like, movies are made with China specifically in mind. Like, apparently the Meg is super like geared towards Chinese audiences. That's that Jason Statham fights a dinosaur shark.
I feel like I love it.
Like apparently the Chinese facing like marketing in that movie is just like oppressive. I have not seen it. I probably will because Jason Statham. I care less about that. I care about Jason Statham. But the problem, my problem is that like I love Crank so much that Jason Statham is just Chev Chelios in my head. So I'm like, oh, a Jason Statham movie. It'll be fun to see him again because I'm just remembering Crank. And like, no movie is Crank, but Crank and Crank 2. So I'm always disappointed seeing Jason Statham in anything else. I have not seen that recently enough to be able to remember what his performance was like. The only Jason Statham movies I can remember off the top of my head and remember his performance off the top of my head are Crank High Voltage, and The One. Which I think was his first movie, and he's trying to do an American accent, and he's dog shit at it. Gamers are really bad. Gamer is a terrible movie. Oh yeah, The Transporter was really good, and that was almost like Crank levels of ridiculous. That was a good movie. That was a good action movie. What was the other one we were just talking about? Gamer was a really, really interesting science fiction idea, and I think in the hands of like Black Mirror or something, it would have been able to reach like really interesting potential. But like, oh man, that's a terrible movie. That's Gerard Butler. Gerard Butler and Dexter. And Dexter is the like main bad guy.
Dexter as in Dexter?
No, Dexter is in whatever the fuck that guy's name is.
That's what I meant. Wait, oh wow.
Well, what did you think I meant by Dexter? I don't even know why I've seen Gamer. Speaking of movies like from that era that are kind of the same sort of flavor, maybe a little more kid friendly. You know what's like not that bad? I don't think it's very good, but it's all right. Real Steel, that Hugh Jackman Rock'em Sock'em Robots movie. That's okay. I've never seen Snatch.
Oh my god, Stephen is so good in Snatch. We should watch that. Also, yeah, Lock, Stock, Two Smoking Barrels is also really good.
I am not familiar with the filmography of Guy Ritchie.
Oh my god, it's so good.
Except for Sherlock Holmes, which I thought was excellent. I liked the Sherlock Holmes Guy Ritchie movie. I haven't seen the second one either. I know the first one's on Netflix. I started watching the first one on Netflix like a month ago. I didn't get too far into it because it's been long enough that I just wanted to watch it. It's one of those ones that has like a subtitle. He's like, Sherlock Holmes in the Book of Shadows. Even though that's Blair Witch Project. Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. And the one that I watched was just Sherlock Holmes. Or the one that I began to watch. Oh, excuse me. You ever just suddenly choke on your own spit? Like for no reason at all, it just happens? That's a terrible name for a Sherlock Holmes adventure. Hey, speaking of which, we should injure ourselves by watching the Will Ferrell, John C. Reilly Sherlock Holmes movie. I don't even know if it's... I'm pretty sure it has come and gone, and it was reviewed so badly that it just disappeared into the ether. John C. Reilly's amazing. He's a legitimately good actor.
No, he's wonderful. Yes, I don't like what you mean.
Will Ferrell?
I don't like it when he's a lead.
Yeah.
He's fun when he's a supporting character, but like when he's given lead, I can't deal with him.
And he's a surprisingly okay actor. Like Stranger Than Fiction is maybe one of my favorite movies. I love it a lot.
I take it back. Yeah, he's obviously the lead of that movie, but he's
No, I know what you mean. Like his comedy styling when it's just like, there's no script, just yell a bunch of things.
like I like old school. I like him in that movie because he was a lead.
Yeah, old school's fun. And honestly, I think Anchorman is good.
I haven't seen it.
It was the glut of movies that were trying to be Anchorman in the wake of Anchorman that kind of soured me to that style of comedy altogether. No, Anchorman is good, and it's narrated by Bill Curtis from Wait, Wait, Don't Tell Me. So you get to listen to more of that sultry voice. No, I don't have rose purple. Where did it go? Whatever. I'll do it later. I haven't seen Old School since that whole Fight Club remake theory showed up. Old School is, I'm pretty sure, either it was like Vince Vaughn or like the director was like, yeah, that's pretty much accurate. Old School is apparently like a comedy remake of Fight Club, where they start their own secret club, and the jacket, Tyler Durden's jacket, is worn by what's his face in the movie as this Fight Club, but it's funny.
I love that.
It's fine.
I saw the last minute of it multiple times before I actually saw the whole movie because I was working as an usher in the movie theater at that time.
Oh yeah.
But like even knowing what happened in that moment, it was still like, what the fuck? What? So it was like, it didn't ruin any really certain moment for me.
The first time I saw it was on a bus. I'm pretty sure to or from Montreal on a class trip. I'm pretty sure Matt was there. And I figured it out before the end.
Yeah.
So most of it was just spent kind of like waiting for me to be right. I still like it. I think it's a good movie. Oop. I think the comics are on Fight Club 3 now. I don't know how much more story you need to tell with that. But at least Chuck is still writing it, which is kind of cool. You did not. do you mean started out? Did you decide against it?
Yeah,
Why? Glass weapons never do, but I decided to do it, so I gotta stick with it.
I like the designs, but I think that's I think it's because of their size.
What is that pounding?
I don't know. It's
Oh.
like a whole glass sword, but so you can catch up on it. But like the knife is short and compact that it still looks tangible. I don't know.
Oh, like it sounds like some construction-y sort of thing? Oh, okay. I was just worried it was somebody pounding on somebody's door. Oh my god, flatting. Sorry, say again. Her last name was what? Oh, Battlebrand. I thought you said Battlebrand. And I was like, that's a terrible last name for a character. Like, unless it's supposed to be like a straight comedy, that is a terrible name for a character. I mean, it's what people expect from fantasy. I don't think it's bad.
Yeah,
Right?
it's Berman now, but I ended up changing it because I think Battlebrand is either or something. More ones from Buffy.
Oh. Sorry, War-wise? I don't remember Buffy that much. Oh, lore-wise. I'm sorry. I'm amazed at how little I remember of Buffy, despite having seen all of it. I don't remember a goddamn thing from that show, and I have seen every episode of that show. Like, back to back. Like, there was a summer where, like, we just, like, marathoned it.
No, I did the same thing, and I think that's likely why I don't remember anything.
I mean,
It's a lot of information.
Yeah, but Star Trek, I was just like, fuck yeah. More I mean, of course, I have since marathoned each one of those, like, 7 times. But, like, Star Trek, I retained shitloads of stuff from. But Buffy, it's just like, it just disappeared. I can barely tell. There's a guy named Xander, who's the goony-looking Zir character.
Yeah.
There's a character named Buffy. There's a character who's, I think his name is Angel.
Yeah.
And Seth Green is in it. And he's a werewolf, right?
Yeah, that's Oz.
Okay. That's like it. And the guy from Repo the Genetic Opera is in it.
That's Giles.
Yeah.
Matt's asking if I was talking about the HD re-release of Buffy. No.
It is crazy. Oh my god, it's so bad. Oh, poor Buffy fans.
You can't hear me talking, but like, yeah, you told me how bad it was.
Yeah, Jen has not seen like footage from Buffy Remastered. Like, they so got a computer to do it. There are shots where they just opened up the full frame of the video, and the crew is just sitting right there. Just extended shots of the crew just chilling on the side. It's so bad.
Way to crap on the huge and loyal fan base. Like, Jesus.
Yeah.
It's Buffy. It's
Yeah.
TV history for Pete's sake.
Yeah, they didn't deserve that. No, like it is a landmark television show, and it deserved better than that.
Oh, you know what? Last weekend there were dudes doing work on the stairs on the other side of the building, so I'm wondering if maybe they moved it across.
Oh, could that be? You mean the stairs outside? Or do you mean the stairs inside leading up to the next floor?
Yeah,
Right. Do it. Take a pee, why don't you?
No, pee.
Oh, okay. I don't know. We stay hydrated. I don't know if I've mentioned on a stream yet, but Jen and I recently started... Like, we measured out how much water a person is supposed to drink in a day, and so we fill up jugs every day to, like, have as much water as a human being is supposed to have.
And then some.
Yeah, and I am... Well, no. The where I fill it to about this line, that is about 9 cups of water. That is basically what you need.
That's not true.
Yeah, it is.
What's
'Cause
left is not 2 cups worth of air. These things hold 11 cups of water.
Mm-hmm. And about there is 9. I measured this out. Anyways, that is neither here nor there. Point being, I am positive every single fucking human being in my life is dehydrated as shit. There is no way that anybody, unless they're specifically doing this, is getting enough water. Because holy shit, it's a lot of water. Like, I pee like 8 times a day now. And it is crystal clear. And I'm so glad you know that. I'm so delighted to share this with you.
Everybody knows about our pee.
It's clear pee, Brent. I'm supposed to pack this up for dinner now, but I'm just gonna keep going for a bit. Maybe until I'm done. Helen. Yeah, here. I assume that's what you were just doing, but did you take fish out?
No, it's
Oh. Yeah, Leah, I see you. Leah's being a pest. She's done with her wizard nap. Good face. What the fuck are you talking about? I just realized they can't hear you as well, so it sounds like I'm talking to myself. Sorry, Jen is also speaking. Oh, was that supposed to be her teeth? Or is that her tongue? Okay. Sometimes in pencils it's just obviously difficult to tell. Because they're just white. Oh, Jesus Christ. When did we get on the line layer? What? Okay, wait. Okay, dinner's on the horizon. Dude got home from work and is playing loud music. He is being a pest. And now there's a car alarm in the parking lot behind me. I think it's time to pack this in. Where's her? There we go. Oh, come here. Thank you. What? Oh, yeah. Oh, shit. Alright, that'll do. I'm just gonna stop that. Alright, cool. Yeah, I hope this wasn't too terribly disappointing. I just figured I could stream some actual work getting done in the comic to prove that we're making it. And we are. And hopefully there will be new pages to share soon, at least with Patreon. Actually releasing the comic again is still quite a ways out because we obviously want a big as hell buffer this time. So we're not being one of those comics that's like fighting against the very next page going out because I hate that feeling.
Yeah, I was not a fan.
So hopefully we will just get several months ahead and just leave it at that. Oh my god. Hang on, I may as well. I can probably get to a place equidistant from the microphone in the chat that I can actually read it. Yeah, cool. But yeah, now that streaming appears to work again, I can actually stream again. So I guess you'll be seeing more of that. And Jen doesn't have to completely do it all herself now. And I apologize for making you do that for months on end.
Unacceptable.
Like, I was streaming in this house, right? Before shit fell apart? Or is this the first time I have successfully streamed since we moved into this apartment?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Okay, well, I can start doing that more. Right on.
Thank you for hanging out.
Yeah, thanks for showing up, guys. And I guess I'll see you on the internet, like always. And right now I'm going to go pee. I believe this is number 5 for the day. Just so you know. Anyways, I'll talk to you guys later. Have a good one. Okay, bye.